Hey everyone, I'm Marshall and you're watching an episode of Making Modern, and today I'm going to show you the nicest car that I have ever bought.
Perfect.
So you're probably wondering why I paid money for something that was probably going to end up in the junkyard. I'm also wondering the same thing.
So I bought this car sight unseen off of Facebook Marketplace. I bought it from a gentleman down in North Carolina, and it was his father's car. And the story is they were having issues with the key fob, aftermarket key fob and security system, and no one can figure out how to make it work or make it run, so they just parked it and it sat there for about 15 years. So why did I buy it? Well, it only has 76,000 miles, which in 190E terms is just barely broken in, and it also has no rust. So if you know anything about Northeast cars, they are all rusty at the jack points. You'll also notice that it is bright freaking red, and that's actually a factory color called Signal Red or 586 Red, and that is super uncommon, especially with the 2.6 engine. So if you do a browse on Facebook or Craigslist or eBay or wherever you're finding your vintage Mercedes, it's really hard to find one that doesn't have a million miles on it or is rusted out, and all of the paint is either faded or repainted, so this is kind of just right in there.
Alright, so at this point we are at a pretty good spot where I can start working on the wiring. That's what's impeding it from running, and that is what's keeping me from getting it into the garage right now, because I'm not.
So my goal here is to remove all of the alarm system and return the wiring to make it appear as if it's factory. There's also lots of parts that are just wrong. It's like they were looking for the problem in the wrong places, so I have to put all that back in the right spot as well. most of this just cutting apart the wiring harnesses and separating the old from the new. Luckily everything is just twisted and taped together, so it makes it pretty easy to take apart, but it's just a sticky, time-consuming mess. And now finally, we can see if it works.
So the other day we got this beast running off of a can of carb cleaner, which tells us that there's obviously a fuel issue. So what I did is I first shorted out the fuel pump with this little piece of wire that I cut out of the car earlier, and I checked the leads on the back of the fuel pump with my trusty test light to make sure that it was getting power. Yes, it was getting power. No, the fuel pump was not running. So luckily I have a whole extra fuel pump assembly that I got out of my trusty 86 300E that is now a parts car, RIP buddy. But yeah, so you have fuel pump, fuel filter, and fuel accumulator. This is a different setup that's in this car. This is an early model 86, this assembly, and in the newer models, I don't know what year they switched over, but it's twin fuel pump. So it has two of these Bosch fuel pumps stacked on top. So it's not going to be a direct swap that I can just kind of pop in and make it work. But I do need to use this assembly to get it into the garage. So what I'm going to do is just kind of plumb it in underneath, plumb in the inlet from this hose clamp, plumb in the outlet from here. Hopefully they just interchange, we'll find out. But yeah, hopefully that'll get us running at least enough to get it into the garage.
After 30 more minutes of flailing into the car, we now have fuel pump noises. And now I can attempt to get it into the garage. And this is about when I realized it wasn't putting enough power down to the wheels to move itself. And 3 quarts of Dexmerk ATF later.